Gotta start it with LeBron. Gotta start it with LeBron. God damn it. Gotta start it with LeBron. It was only right. Can't not start out the stream with a dancing random ass LeBron James. God damn it. Hey, y'all see in the polls right now. Go over. Did your team win this weekend? Did your team lose this weekend? Let me know what transpired with your ball club this week. All right. What transpired with your ball club this week? Yes, I will be making a video about John Gruden. Yes, I will be doing my Fury and Wilder reaction tomorrow. Full fight commentary. Most likely that'll be something for Patreon because of the copyright. But I'm gonna have to do let me tell you something tomorrow to break down the Fury and Wilder fight. But this evening we fixing to hang out for a little bit. I'd say up until about 8 p.m. and then I got to bike over to the gym. But did your team win? Did your team lose? Let me know in the comment section. And God damn it, 2 of my upset alerts got foiled because of kickers. 1, the Cincinnati Bengals. 2, the Indianapolis Colts. And let me tell you something about the Colts. Valiant effort from those brothers. Although Rodrigo Blankenship is hurt, I must say, you still got to make those doggone kicks. We had way too many kicks that was missed. Don CJ in the building. Toxic Falcons fan. You guys won overseas. I thought y'all was going to blow the lead, but y'all didn't. So kudos to you, Toxic Falcons. Devin, Donovan. Oh, my man, over from Trinidad. My God, man, how's it going? Donovan, what's going on? Bad glad, but 5-1 said, my team lost and lost our coach. Well, God, dog. Shit. Well, there it is. Gruden grinders are Gruden grinding no more. Sherrod Petaway, go Pack, go. Your Pack has won 4 straight. Anthony in the building. Eccentric Des. Chris J. How is it going? Regular J. Randy Squared. Gold Lion. Yoko. Bernard. McKinley. Demontre. SG. Prince. Markia. What's good? Evo. K-Dub. Dragoon in the house. How about your Vikings, man? How about your Vikings? Diego, what's going on? Steel in the house. Delvin, what's going on? Don is back. Bear down, baby. I done got a W and done booted this man out the NFL. It's over for him. Bobby in the house. Amari in the house. Said, where the Ravens fans at? Where are the Ravens fans at? Darth Pizza Lord said, Mac Jones brought us home. Fire X Samurai in the building. What's going on? How about them Ravens, man? How about them Ravens? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dragoon. Y'all desperately need Dalvin Cook so goddamn bad. Jeffrey in the house. How about them Cowboys? How about your Cowboys? Chance in the building. Tyler says, who that? Who that? Who that said they're going to beat them Saints? How about who they? Who they said they're going to beat them Bengals? The Packers. That's exactly what transpired. God, dog, I had the Bengals leading the division after 5 weeks, and lo and behold, it is the Ravens sitting at the top after 4 consecutive victories. Candace Pafavo said, go Pack, go. Those missed field goals were giving me a heart attack. I could imagine how tough it was. Brutal, man. Absolutely brutal. Nutted 2 said, Lions or Jaguars might go 0-17. The Lions are losing very close week in, week out, so I don't think that's the case. The Jaguars, on the other hand, probability of them going 0-17 is much higher than the other. Much higher than the other. Robert Sanders put 2 on, said Lamar took over and Calais did his thing. Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Lions are in a very bad way, and we fixing to get to that game second. But for about another minute, we'll just keep saying what's up to the people, and then we're going to go straight in to the breakdown of every single doggone game, goddammit. But if your team won, I'm happy for you, okay? I am happy for you because right now, the vast majority of people on Hot Mic had their teams win. For those of you on YouTube, the vast majority of you guys had your team win. How about them Chargers? How about them Chargers? Casper said Lamar top 5 QB right now. Oh, he playing like it. He playing like it. He definitely playing like it. Kidney put 2 on, said prayers up for Juju. Ain't that the truth? DeAndre put 2 on, said, and now go Chargers. Go. Ain't that the truth? Because they went out there, they took care of business, and I'm pretty sure all we seeing throughout the entirety of California is,
and now go Chargers, go.
You know Arnold is somewhere screaming, and now go Chargers, go. Because they walked away with a W. Meanwhile, for Oakland, Las Vegas, Gruden Grinders is no longer the Gruden grinding because Gruden lost his job. And Undertaker told that brother,
you will rest in peace.
So, with no further ado, let's get into these games, goddammit. Robert Patuon said, and Jameis is the embodiment of feast or famine. Ain't that the truth? And let me tell you something. Jameis is still playing all right football. He's still playing all right football, but it's a matter of the drives. It's not necessarily the turnovers. It's more along the lines of the drives, putting together drives on a consistent basis. That's where my gripe with Jameis is. And a few people have sent me messages talking about, hey, man, looks like Antonio Brown was right. Are you still going to call him a clown? Like 17 different people sent me the same photo, the same meme, talking about, hey, Antonio Brown was right. Maybe Antonio saw the future. Do you realize what Antonio Brown did? He's not a clown for his foresight. Do you realize what this man did? He done whipped out his appendage and placed it on a lady's shoulder. This man threw rocks at a goddamn Uber driver. He put dicks by mail in front of his child's mother, all while on Instagram Live. Launched furniture out of the highest of high floors in a motherfucking hotel. Did all of these other actions. Just because the brother is now, being better, does not excuse his behavior. Antonio Brown was my favorite player in the NFL at the time that he was in Pittsburgh. When he left and went to Oakland, I was still having high hopes for him to play football effectively. But this man's actions cannot be ignored. Don't get me wrong. Big Ben's now 39. Offensive line played like ass. He's not looking very good, but he's aging, of course. Juju Smith-Schuster, for all intents and purposes, may not have had another 1,000-yard season, but last year actually played a very good season. But it's the fact that he's not at the top of the league that people overlook it. The man's still a very good football player, all tick-tocking aside. And with Las Vegas, with the Raiders, they just don't know how to finish. So outside of that, it's not as if this man was some sort of Nostradamus who can see all things from ahead of the time. No. Just because things are happening does not excuse the man from his actions. And I love Antonio Brown to death, but the man was still acting like a clown. Let's just be honest. Call it what it really is. That man was just, man was wilding, bruh. Man was really wilding. Homie got it. Exactly. Matter of fact, Chris J, it's not even a grocery list of what Antonio Brown done did. It's a CVS receipt of things that this brother did. Like, it's crazy. Over the course of a 2-year period, this man was wilding. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for Tom Brady, this man don't got no job. He ain't playing no more. You know how many people had to vouch for this dude? What's crazy for me is in the comment section of all this dude posts, and mind, I don't take social media that seriously, but motherfuckers be over there just like, yeah, man, I was always rolling all this. I'm like, God, what's good with y'all? Y'all wildin'. Don't get me wrong. He's turned things around. But let's not make it seem as if he ain't do what he did. Like, that's what I don't like. I'm all for people moving forward, being redeemed, and things that, the actions that you done did. Give him his kudos for not, fucking up since he fucked up. But my God, we can't just make it seem like, all of that stuff he done did, it don't matter. This is real life. These are humans, okay? These are humans. We got to stop dehumanizing these athletes, make it seem like they ain't humans. And the people who they affected weren't humans either. Shit fucked up. But nevertheless, all right, we ain't talking about Antonio Brown right now. I'm happy for that brother's success. I'm happy he's able to turn it around, goddammit. So good for him. All right, and possibly he can mess around and still get his ballot as a first ballot in the Hall of Fame because, damn it, that brother is an exceptional football player, and he should be commended for his ability on the field. Now, him as a person, we'll see how things play out down the line as things manifest. But nevertheless, first and foremost, Thursday night football. NFC West matchup. Seattle Seahawks hosting the Los Angeles Rams. And let me tell you something right now. Russell Wilson, I wrote it on the video on NFL highlights. I also said it in the commentary. Biggest loser from Thursday night's game, 1, the Seattle Seahawks, 2, Ciara's G-spot. Because Russell Wilson's middle finger is in absolute peril. That man's middle finger is inoperable. It stays like this at all times. When he's walking around the streets of, well, I mean, he on the West Coast. He's in Seattle, Washington. This brother's not in L.A. But if he was walking around in L.A., people would have thought he was throwing up all kinds of gang signs because his finger is absolutely fucked up. I'm wishing for this brother's speedy recovery. He's never missed a game in his career to my memory, but it's really unfortunate what transpired for him. So I'm really wishing this brother a very speedy recovery. I like Russell Wilson, and unfortunately, my initial prediction was that he won't be the Seattle Seahawks quarterback next year. Now, dealing with this injury and how things will play out for Seattle, it does not look very promising. I expect him to end up leaving Seattle at the conclusion of this season. I think Pete Carroll will probably retire as well. But good luck to Russ on his recovery. Story of this game, Robert Woods. My God, what did I tell you guys? It was only a matter of time before Robert Woods go completely off, and that's exactly what transpired this game. 12 catches, 150 yards. This brother could not be guarded. On top of that, can't forget about Cooper, 2 girls, 1 cup. 7 catches, 92 yards. He was all over the field as well. These two guys right here, there's a reason why they're 1 and 2 in yards after the catch. And guess what? Adding Deshaun Jackson, only had 1 catch, but it was a 68-yard bomb. Adding Deshaun Jackson really takes the top off the motherfucking defense. Seattle was out there playing, Legend of Zelda. They were trying to make it to the Forest Temple because they continually ended up lost woods. They continually lost woods. It was brutal out there. Brutal out there. And on the ground, Darrell Henderson got 82 yards on the ground, but the run game was, it was here and there. Sony Michel found the end zone, things of that nature. Matthew Stafford played a decent football game, not his best. But I will say this. Geno Smith came in, and I can't lie to you. He played good football. Geno Smith came in and played good football. I don't think there's a single soul on the planet. When they saw Russell Wilson go down, and y'all said, who's the backup? Smith. Geno Smith. Oh, this game's over. I don't think there's a single, we were live. I don't think there's a single person who said, Geno Smith coming in the game? Seattle got this. Hell no. But what he did, march down the field like it's nothing. Bam, DK Metcalf. Whoa. March down the field like it's nothing. Bam, Jason Myers, field goal. Whoa. Hold on. Geno putting points on the board. And then ultimately, last drive, he throws an interception. I will say it was pass interference. I interpret it as defensive pass interference. A lot of people said it was a ticky-tack call. I mean, it is. But nevertheless, he came into the game. He did what he did. And we'll see. We'll see how things play out for Seattle. I mean, hey, they're playing against Pittsburgh, so it's a game that's, depending on what Steelers offense show up, it's a very winnable game for Seattle. So it depends on. We'll see how things look like moving forward. But kudos to the Rams, going and sticking it out and finishing the doggone game. I was expecting more of a defensive presence by the Rams as it pertains to getting sacks. I thought the Rams were going to have at least like 5 sacks. That ain't what happened. So we'll see how things play out. But it's one of those games in which it was, it's a divisional game, so you're never really too sure what you're going to see. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Lord, put 5 on and said, Bucks were eating some sushi Sunday. Indeed they were. Dark Hero put 2 on, said, Big Mac with the comeback. Ain't that the truth? That's exactly what transpired. Gavo put 2 on it, said, we beat out the Jags. Oh, you gonna beat out the Jags. We'll see how that plays out. Divine Caldwell put 5 on and said, who would I say is the doink of the NBA? The doink of the NBA. That's something I got to think about. But, I'll come back to that. Next up, we had the game in London. The Falcons held on to beat the New York Jets. Let's be honest here. When the Falcons took a 17-0 lead, you saw the Jets drive down the field and mess around and score. Did any of us think that the Falcons was going to hold on? Outside of toxic Falcons fans, because I'm sure, you believe in your team. But let's be honest. Did anybody believe the Falcons were going to hold on to the lead? I didn't. I did not. I was watching the game. Mind you, I caught the second half because I'm not waking up early to go watch no goddamn Atlanta Falcons. When the Jets started making the comeback, I said, oh, this game over. This game over. Falcons had a short. I think they were leading by 6. down the stretch when they had scored and then had the 2-point conversion. No, I think it was a 3-point game. It was 20 to 17, I believe. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, was it 20 to 17? It was 20 to 17 when the Jets went down the field and they scored. I said, if Atlanta get this football, Atlanta going to get the football back. Yo, if Atlanta blow this lead, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my voice. But Matt Ryan put together a good drive. They went down the field. They made it a 10-point game, and then it didn't matter what the Jets did because they went down the field. They kicked the field goal, but then Atlanta never gave them the football back. So kudos to the Atlanta Falcons. They were able to finish. My God, I did not see that coming. I did not expect them to finish. I did not expect them to finish at all. For the Jets, pain, there's utter pain for you guys. Matt Ryan played a very good game. 342 yards, 2 TDs. That's a good game. All right, Kyle Pitts, coming out party, 9 catches, 119 yards, and a TD. But I did not expect those guys to go out there and finish the game. I kid you not. I ain't expect them to finish the game. A lot of people talk about Matt Ryan is a problem. Matt Ryan need to go, all this other stuff. Y'all wildin', man. Y'all ain't watching the same. Y'all look at this. Y'all the type of fans who watch football. When you see the team losing, you immediately blame the quarterback. That's not the case. Take a look at Matt Ryan's games over the course of the last 3 years. He's been playing very good football. I think it was his 2019 season. Was it 2018 or 2019? Either 2018 or 2019. His numbers were damn near identical to his MVP season. He didn't even make the Pro Bowl. They were talking about him like he was the problem. No, he was not. Matt Ryan is not the problem. Atlanta just have been dealing with a bevy of injuries, inconsistency. That's what's costing them. But hell of a way to finish the doggone game because I did not think they were going to finish the game. For the Jets, it's going to continue to be brutal. TJ Blaze, for 5 on it, said, I thought I'd have to bear more blown leads, jokes, but the Falcons spared me knowing them next week till it can happen. Ain't that the truth? They could possibly mess around and blow the doggone leads next week. It's going to be brutal. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Lions and Vikings. My God, Detroit. What do I tell you guys? Detroit, over the course of the last, I think, 8 years, I don't know the exact number, but Detroit has led at one point in the fourth quarter, to my memory, at least 33 games. And I could be undershooting them. Because remember, it was 12 through the last 2 years. But since 2014 or so, it seems like Detroit in the fourth quarter can never finish. They find ways to lose. Jared Goff gotta be going through it right now. I know Dan Campbell is. But my God, bro. Y'all go down the field. Y'all take the lead. And Kirk Cousins says, yo, I'm about to end all of their dreams right now. And they put a knife into your damn heart. Greg Joseph off the doggone foot through the uprights, and it's good. Honestly, there's no real way to break down this game outside of saying Detroit just finds a way to lose. Like I said, Detroit's never played a full football game, right? Take a look at their drives. Opening drive, down the field, they kick a field goal. Next drive, they fumble. Next drive, 5 and out. Next drive, they kick a field goal right into the second half. Interception, punt. They turn over on downs. Field goal, touchdown. Oh, we got the lead, baby. We got the lead. And then the Vikings win. Detroit still cannot play a full football game. They can't play a full football game. At all. It's brutal, man. I really, for the life of me, I can't understand it. Why they can't play 60 minutes? I think it's something, I don't want to say it's the curse. It's the Bobby Lane curse. But my God, it got to be something. Somebody got to release them from the genjutsu that they're caught in because you can't keep losing football games like this. David put 5 on, said Detroit needs to get a slap in the face of being the winless team ever, the best winless team ever. If Urban gets a win before Campbell, God truly hates the Lions. Ain't that the truth? Javon, put 5 on it, said the Packers and Bengals were passing the buck to each other like, here, you win. No, you win. No, I insist. No, we insist. Great game. It was to you. Indeed, it was a great game. But it's, my God, down the stretch, it was brutal. We're going to get to that in a little bit. Gavo, put 2 on, said, gotta feel bad for Dan. He has passion for the game. Indeed, he does. Campbell definitely has passion for the game, and it's unfortunate they mess around and lost that way. It's absolutely brutal, man. It's absolutely brutal. Nobody wants to see a team continually lose like that. Because say what you want about the Lions, those brothers, they fight, man. They fight till the very end. Till the very end, but then they lose every single time. It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous, let's talk about consistently inconsistent Jameis Winston as his New Orleans Saints move on to 3-2. They take down the Washington football team 33-22. First and foremost, I'll say this. Alvin Kamara again, 120 yards of total offense, 2 TDs. That brother is a weapon. That brother is a weapon. Marquez Callaway, maybe he's that number 1 receiver that can emerge after Mike Thomas is ultimately gone. Once Michael Thomas is ultimately gone, I think that number 1 receiver is going to have to be Marquez Callaway because, damn it, right now he looked like he's the best option for Jameis Winston. Big Blue Dude, put 5 on it, said, Vikings gave me a run for my money, almost ruined your 7-hour drive. Zimmer is important as a coach who runs the ball on 3rd and long. Oh, he's impotent as a coach who runs the ball on 3rd and long. People who honestly think they can catch the defense sleeping. That's what they're thinking in their mind, but it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. Heisman, put 5 on, said Vikings should not have been in that situation at home in the first place. I agree. I absolutely agree. But Alvin Kamara, that dude is that man is that dude. Jameis Winston, though, 4 TDs through the air. Say what you want about Jameis Winston, but damn it, when he's on, he is on. They had a couple of drives there where I was like, what the hell's going on? First and foremost, opening possession. Jameis throws a pick. Very next possession, bomb over to Deontay Harris. Next possession after that, fumble. Then touchdown. After that, 3 and out. Then a 5 and out. Oh, touchdown. Punt again. Punt, touchdown. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. But I will say this, when Jameis is on. They won the doggone game, and I will give them credit for that. Okay, as for Washington, honestly, still, this is a team that defense ain't who they used to be. Let's just keep it a buck right now. That defense ain't what we thought it was coming into this season whatsoever. Washington's defense is absolute ass. That was their one thing. That was the one guiding light that we thought Washington had coming into this season. We all sat here and said, man, the one thing about the NFC East, we know Washington's defense going to be on point. They was on point last year. They going to come in this year and they going to smash heads. That ain't the case. They one of the worst motherfucking defenses in the league, period. Until Washington can stop somebody, they're going to keep losing like this. Taylor Heineke had to pull 2 comeback wins out of his ass in order for them to not be 0-5. Because let's be honest, if the Giants weren't freaking stupid, they win that game on Thursday night. If Atlanta didn't inherently get on their knees and perform blowjobs, the Washington football team is 0-5. Let's just be honest. The Washington football team is 0-5. They should be 0-5. Garbage, bro. Football team is absolute ass. Shadow Mir, put 5 on, said, what's my opinion on the John Gruden controversy? Am I going to make a video? I will be making a video about it, so stay tuned for that. But Washington's defense is ass. Forget their offense. Forget the offense for a second. Taylor Heineke, 2 INTs, that's brutal. All right, Antonio Gibson, outside of the 2 touchdown runs, he did virtually nothing. Through the air, of course, you can try to trust in Terry McLaurin. This particular game wasn't his game. But my God, the defense is where it starts. Because remember, last year, when they made that run towards the end of the year, it was the defense that was bailing them out. This season, the defense hasn't showed up whatsoever. And until they decide to plug in their controller and play football, Washington's going to continue to lose games like this and have to win games at the freaking final bell in order to win. Because they really should be 0-5. They really should be 0-5. Their defense ain't living up to last season at all. I can guarantee you everybody who drafted Washington football team's defense in fantasy probably dropped them if they haven't already. You need to drop them. Disappointing. Very disappointing. Because I'm a huge proponent, and I've said this time and time again. When you're a team that has a good defensive line, it don't matter if your offense is inconsistent. Because if your defensive line is on point, that sets the tone for everything. Having the ability to garner pressure on the opposing team's quarterback without needing to blitz is it's something that's truly underrated when we talk about football teams. Why do you think the Giants won those 2 Super Bowls against the Patriots? They didn't need to blitz in order to generate pressure. You have a good front four, you can win football games. But for some apparent reason, coming into this season, Washington ain't doing it. And that's all I got to say about that. Ian TBO for 5 want to say, who's my MVP right now? Well, I don't like to anoint MVPs at this point, but I'd say it's it's really 4 guys, right? 5, because I can't disrespect Derrick Henry. I will never. I don't like the fact that it becomes an only quarterback sort of race. But I think it's 5 people. You have Lamar, Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Tom Brady, Derrick Henry. I think those 5, and Justin Herbert is like right there at 6, right? And you can argue if you want to put him over somebody. But I'd say those are the 5. I can't give a definitive, MVP caliber person right now, but Lamar Jackson's playing lights out football. Tom Brady's playing lights out football. All of those guys that I named, they're playing very good football. So it's very tough to try to, if I had to rank one, I can't. I honestly, for the life of me, I can't do it. And I'm a very decisive person, but I can't do it. Nathan Pafab want to say, hey, are we getting cardiac kids vibe from the Ravens? Well, perhaps, cause they fans, I know they going through it. It's been brutal, man. It's been brutal. But next up, Texans and the Patriots. Let me say this about the Lolly Lule Low. Mac Jones, this was a game of poise, and he showed it. If you thought last week in his game against the Tom Brady Buccaneers was a one-off, oh no, Mac Jones showed you he could play football in the NFL. Granted, it was against the Texans, but down the stretch, it was Mac Jones willing this football team to make a comeback. Because let's keep in mind, it was 22-9. Granted, give Bill Belichick and his defense credit. After the Texans took the 22-9 lead after the Mac Jones interception early in the second half, they shut them down. 3 and out, 5 and out, missed field goal, 3 and out, fumble. Hell of a job, Belichick's defense. Hell of a job, Belichick's defense. Now, granted, Houston blew it, but the field goal, of course, that's going to pain them. But Belichick's defense, they got the job done. They got the job done. And I'm going to give him 100%, credit over to Belichick and his guys. But on the offensive side of the ball, Mac Jones got the job done. Took his team down the field every single drive after trailing by 13. Every single drive, field goal, touchdown, field goal, and they won. And who would have thought it was fucking Nick Folk who hits the game-winning kick. Week after, this motherfucker ain't, he missed the game winner. He got the job done. For the Texans, Davis Miller had the game of his life. I don't think there's been a rookie QB who's played this well against Belichick since Russell Wilson in 2012. But that's a hell of a game. That's a hell of a game. So kudos to the Patriots being able to close that out because watching it, the first half, it didn't look like the Texans had a chance. Let's be honest. It didn't look like, the Texans. It didn't look like the Patriots were fixing to make a comeback. Davis Miller was firing on all cylinders. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I said Miller. Davis Mills was firing on all cylinders. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? It's like when I used to say, who the hell is the guy who was in San Francisco? I forget his name. Nick Mullins. Like, who the hell is Davis Mills? Who is this guy? Son lightened the Patriots up, but lo and behold, Belichick's defense was able to nut up, and they got themselves the victory. Mahmoud put 5 on it. Said, I know, it was the Jets, but seriously, I don't want to hear anyone talking trash about Matt Ryan. Correct. They shouldn't talk shit about Matt Ryan. It was Nick Mullins. But yeah, kudos to the doggone Patriots. They got themselves a W. Miami and The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's only one thing I could say about this game. Tom Brady, my God. 5 touchdowns, 400+ yards. This man was firing on all cylinders. Honestly, I don't understand. I really don't understand how Father Time has not been able to find Tom Brady's house. I don't know if it don't got his dragon radar. I don't know if it doesn't have a GPS. I don't know if Tom Brady got to be some sort of, impenetrable but he got impenetrable forces as it pertains to Father Time getting to him, because it really don't make no doggone sense to me. It really don't make sense to me. This man, for the first time in his career, has 400+ yards in a 5 TD game at 44 years old. It don't make sense, bruh. It really don't mean it don't make sense. And I will say this, if Jacoby Brissett kept playing, maybe this game is different. But unfortunately, he ended up having to ended up leaving the game and things of that nature, so it was kind of tough. When they were building momentum and things of that. So that was kind of it was kind of hard when they was building momentum, and then ultimately, Son came back, and then here we are. Game clipped and shit. Mans did come back, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. Tampa Bay dominated them. First off, AB in the first half, unguardable. All of a sudden, second half, Mike Evans, unguardable. Tom Brady could have, to be honest with you, this could have been a 50+ burger. Could have been a 60 burger. It's crazy, bro. It's really crazy. Miami ain't stand a chance. And let's be honest, without Tua, season done. Season done. Season done. I thought Jacoby really got hurt. Man's but season done. Tom Brady can't be stopped. I don't know what the deal is. Season done for the Dolphins, I think, because they need him. They need him back. But I think with Tom Brady, he couldn't be stopped. Mans was marching up and down the field. Defense could not slow him down. Hell of a game for Tampa Bay. Austin put 5 on and said, as a Chiefs fan, I'm officially starting and driving the flag Spags train. Well, there fire Spags train. Well, there it is. Yeah, they should, because they can't do shit. They can't do shit. Because that defense is atrocious. I'm gonna get to that second to last game. But yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad because they need to figure out what they're doing, because Tua gave them a little spark, but now it's clipped for them, honestly. For Tampa Bay, good game, very good game. They looked very solid. I'm curious to see what things are gonna look like down the line, but this was just utter decimation. Tom Brady usually has issues with the Dolphins. That wasn't the case. That was not the case. They took care of business. They whipped their ass. That's all I got to say about that. Izzy put 5 on, said, I'm a Jets fan. Can I root for the Chargers this year, or is that bandwagon? I mean, yes, it is bandwagon, because you can't be a fan of a team and not even cheer for your fan. That's crazy. Lucius put 5 on, said, thoughts on Steve Young's comment that Buffalo is the alpha dog in the AFC currently? Yes. I agree. Buffalo is the best team in the AFC right now. Sorry, Baltimore. But Buffalo is the best team in the AFC right now. They are playing magnificent motherfucking football. Magnificent motherfucking football. Across the board. Defensively and offensively. They are playing magnificent football. Buffalo is at the top of the list. Baltimore would take that number 2 spot. But, next up, the game in which kickers refuse to make kicks. Green Bay and Cincinnati. What did I tell you guys in the pregame? Or I should say the predictions. What did I tell you guys? I said Cincinnati is going to pull off the motherfucking upset. I said they was going to go out there and shock the goddamn world. And they played great football. They played great football. When the offense had mental lapses, the defense picked up. When the defense had mental lapses, the offense picked up. And then all of a sudden, it became a motherfucking hot potato game between kickers figuring out who doesn't want to win this game. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Where did these kickers get their legs from? That's wild, bruh. This game truly should have ended in a tie, because ain't nobody deserved to win. Nobody earned the right to win. But the Packers did walk away with a W. But my God, bro. My God. Crosby and McPherson, come on, bro. Both of them motherfuckers need to put their goddamn head down. Both of them need to put their head down. Because this was one of those games where you like, yo, what's going on? It was a battle of the receivers. Jamar Chase, best game of the season for him. 6 catches, 159 yards, and another TD. What I tell you guys? I told you guys this guy is going to be special. He put up on his wall. He wants to lead all rookies in not only catches, but yards and TDs. He wants the triple crown. Let me tell you something. He could potentially mess around and lead the league if he stays at this level of consistency. He can mess around and stay at the top of the league, or mess around and get to the top of the league with this level of consistency. But then on the other sideline, oh, you got that dog. You got that dog. Devontae Adams, 11 catches, 206 yards in the TD. This man could, fam, every time Aaron Rodgers threw the football, it went in Devontae Adams, into his vicinity. Who was guarding him? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. It's crazy, bruh. This was a game of wide receivers, and Devontae Adams' wide receiver team messed around and they got over. Forget everything else. Aaron Rodgers still played very well. 344, 2 TDs. Aaron Jones over 100 on the ground. But ultimately, it was a game of the kickers down the line. Crosby had a chance to give him a 3-point lead. He missed. McPherson had a chance to give them the Bengals the lead with under 30 seconds remaining. He missed. Rodgers put Crosby in a position to give them the game-winning kick. He missed. Bengals go into overtime. Joe Burrow throws an interception. Then McPherson gets an opportunity to win it. Because remember, after the first possession, it's next score wins. McPherson misses. I thought I made it. It hit the flag. You stupid motherfucker, you. Then ultimately, Mason Crosby down the field, and then he gets another opportunity. And then he finally puts it in, bruh. Because this right here, brutal. Absolutely brutal. I don't understand it. How you guys can miss that many kicks, it don't make sense, bruh. This was a legendary, I should say historic. What isn't legendary? But it was a historic week for kickers. And I've never seen kickers mess around and miss the way they did this week. This was brutal, bruh. Tress Rules for 5-1 said the Pats shouldn't have won Sunday. Nick Folk bailed us out with those 4 made field goals, especially the 250-plus yarders. The defense almost sold us out. Indeed, but in the second half, they ended up getting it together. So I'll give them their kudos. But my God. Next up, Denver and Pittsburgh. I am very, very, very proud of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Devontae Adams, best wide receiver in the league. To be honest with you, I agree. But Pittsburgh and Denver. Najee Harris, Ben Roethlisberger. These two guys played their best game of the season. Best game of the season. Offensive line actually showed up and had a pulse. Pittsburgh dominated this game from opening whistle up until about the 13-minute mark remaining in the fourth quarter. And then they said, woo, we winning. We up by 18. There's no way Denver's going to come back. And then Denver started coming back. Kudos to Teddy Bridgewater, who was having a very, very rough outing in that fourth quarter. Oh, he came alive. He showed up. He started slanging that football. And then what I tell you guys about Pittsburgh, there's going to come a point in every single game, there's a mental lapse in the secondary, and that's exactly what happened. Bridgewater, deep down the field, got his man, touchdown. Uh-oh. I'm watching the game like, yo, this game is done. This game is in the bag. Pittsburgh got it. And then the fourth quarter happened, and Denver looked like they couldn't be stopped. The momentum wasn't being slowed down. Thank God for that interception inside the red zone. Everything balanced. As Thanos would say, everything balanced. Oh, son of a bitch. Everything balanced as it should be. Okay, because a couple years ago, Big Ben throws an interception in the red zone, cost Pittsburgh the game. This time around, Bridgewater throws an interception in the red zone, cost his team the game. But this game was more about Pittsburgh than it was about Denver. They played the best game they played all year. That's all I got to say about them. They played the best game they played all year. That's all I got to say about that. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, can Pittsburgh keep up this kind of momentum? Well, you lost Juju Smith-Schuster for the year. Devin Bush's groin is probably like 67%. So every single week he gets that banged up, and he has to end up leaving the game and unable to finish. Minkah Fitzpatrick doesn't seem to have had those same splash plays he had the last 2, years. So perhaps he can finally get going at one particular point. But this game was a game that Pittsburgh desperately needed. But game ball, although Ben Roethlisberger played his best game of the year, game ball goes to Najee Harris. That was magnificent. Next. Oh, boy. Philly and Carolina. Carolina found a way to lose this football game because they controlled this game the entire time. But let me just take 1 second to say this about Philly. Fuck you guys. You understand me? Fuck you guys. You want to know why I say fuck you guys? Yet another week, you're not giving the football to Miles Sanders. Why? Help me understand why Miles Sanders is not getting the carries. What does he have against the organization? Why can you not give the football to Miles Sanders? I'm not speaking for fantasy owners. I'm speaking for Philadelphia Eagles fans across the nation. Give the football to Miles Sanders and good things happen. Don't give the football to Miles Sanders. You have heart attacks week in and week out. Why are you guys the way that you are? Although they won this game, the play calling selection was absolute ass once again. It was absolute ass once again. If it wasn't for Sam Darnold starting to revert back to his New York Jet days and start to see ghosts, the Carolina Panthers are winning this game. The Carolina Panthers are winning this game. If this man, Sam Darnold, didn't start seeing Casper the Ghost, didn't start seeing Boo the Ghost, didn't start seeing motherfucking Scream and things of that nature, the Carolina Panthers win this game. This was a game where Chubba Pornhubbard went over 100 yards on the ground. But Sam Darnold's ineptitude is what cost him this doggone game. Carolina was leading 15-3. They give up a field goal at the tail end of the half. All of a sudden, these motherfuckers forget how to play football. They forget how to play football. Second half starts, 5 and out. Here come the Eagles. Oh, they're going to fumble. What does Carolina do? 3 and out. What does the Eagles do? Here's the football right back. Let's throw an interception. What does Sam Darnold do? Have the ball right back. I don't want it. What? Eagles go down the field, they score a touchdown. All of a sudden, here you go. Carolina answers. They hit a field goal, and then they do not play any football after that. You get your punt blocked. The Eagles are in prime field position, so they put in a touchdown. Now, all of a sudden, Sam Darnold got to make a comeback, and then what happened? Interception. Game done. 3 INTs. You can't play football like that. Carolina started 3-0. They just dropped 2 in a row. But let me say this about the motherfucking Eagles. Until you give the football to Miles Sanders, you will continue to play terrible games like this. You will continue to have outings in this particular manner. It doesn't make sense how Miles Sanders gets 11 carries. Jalen Hurts runs the football 9 times. That does not make sense. The discrepancy between Jalen Hurts and Miles Sanders should not be this close. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jalen Hurts probably carried the football more than Miles Sanders this doggone season. Give the football to Miles Sanders. That's all I got to say about it. It's one thing if the brother couldn't run the football. It's another thing if you are unwilling to give him the football. Give the football to Miles Sanders. But for the Panthers, my God, somebody tell Sam Darnold not to revert to who he was before. Yes, I did talk about the Steelers. I talked about them briefly just before here. All right. Next up. The slaughtering of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I need everybody from your diaphragm, okay, from your diaphragm. If you've got to shout it, if you've got to whisper it, if you've got to just say it. Everybody with me now. Oh, Henry. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys was going to happen? Derrick Henry has a full first team All-Pro season in his career against Jacksonville. This man murders the Jacksonville Jaguars every time they play. And what happened this game? The same shit. 29 carries, 130 yards, and 3 TDs. He could not be stopped. Ryan Tannehill ain't really need to do too much, regardless of the fact that he was, 197 yards and a TD. But let's be honest here. This was the Derrick Henry show. And for all intents and purposes, Jacksonville kept it relatively close. Through the first 2 quarters, when it was 14-13, Jacksonville missed the extra point. Or I think they went for it I think they went for 2. What was it? They went for 2? No, they missed the extra point on the opening drive. Yeah, on the opening drive, they missed the extra point. And then they were trailing 14-13, and then I said, "Oh, the closer this game is, and Tennessee has an opportunity to keep running the football, they're going to keep feeding Henry." Through the first half, Henry wasn't going off. It was the second half where he started to build that separation. So Derrick Henry, that's a bad man. That's all I got to say. That's the name of the game. All you can say about this game was Derrick Henry. Say what you want about Trevor Lawrence. He didn't play a bad game. James Robinson actually had a very good game on the other sideline. 149 yards and a TD on 18 carries. He had a great game. But you ain't winning football games if you can't stay on the field. You can't slow down Derrick Henry. You're going to have a bad time, and that's exactly what happened with Jacksonville. Tennessee's back on track. And here's my only thing with Tennessee. You played against Jacksonville, so you can settle with the whole Derrick Henry carrying the football and everything, but you're going to need your wide receivers to, make it do what it do. You're desperately going to need it. Because if Julio and A.J. Brown are not readily available at all times, now granted, A.J. Brown did play, but if Julio and A.J. Brown are readily available throughout the rest of the duration of the season, you're going to have some problems because they're going to stack that box against Derrick Henry, and Ryan Tannehill's going to need some targets to throw the football too. But nevertheless, this was a game that was won by Henry. What a goddamn game from him. What a goddamn game from it. Yeah, he ran over his own fullback. He ran over his own goddamn fullback. It was wild, bro. It was wild. He saw Bama lost and said, I got to redeem my boys. But next up, a game that had virtually no defense. Shootout in SoFi Stadium. Let me say this about the Chargers kicker. When you have an opportunity to even up the score after your team goes all the way down the field and scores a touchdown, my God, you cannot miss. You cannot miss. And he missed, but thank God Justin Herbert was able to get the job done. They went back down the field, they scored, they take the lead, and ultimately win the game. But my God, this was a game right here. This was a game right here. Magnificent game. Magnificent offensive game. Offensive explosion. Baker Mayfield, 2 TDs, 305 yards. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, both these brothers are a problem on the ground. They combined for over 200 yards on the ground. It was beautiful. If you hate defenses, this was a beautiful game to watch. Justin Herbert, hello, we talk about MVP conversation. You can't talk about it without Justin Herbert. You can't talk about it without Jay Herbo. This brother right here, 26 of 43, 398 yards, 4 TDs, and down the stretch, he took over. Austin Eckler made sure he showcased to the world that's how the white man plays guitar, because he may be as black as much as he is white. He had 17 carries, 66 yards, 2 TDs on the ground. Mike Williams could not be guarded through the air. For what apparent reason was this man wide open deep down the middle of the field? Two different drives, 2 different long-ass touchdowns. I don't understand. Mike Williams is a top 5 deep ball threat in the league right now, undisputedly. How the fuck does he remain uncovered? That don't make sense. IG said, what's the record for most mixed kicks in a season? New record? No. This past weekend, that's definitely a record. Keenan Allen, along with Amari Cooper and company, Devontae Adams, those guys might be the best route runners in the league. But my God, you talk about a game, offensive explosion, that's exactly what it was. And if you want to go back and watch that fourth quarter, it was as entertaining of a fourth quarter that you'll see all season. It was as entertaining of a quarter that you'll see all season. Dread Hokage said it's because they got to guard Keenan Allen. I disagree. Because you can't, although you could pay respect to Keenan Allen, you cannot, under any circumstances, leave the deep third wide open for Mike Williams. If you're going to roll a safety, Keenan Allen is less of a deep ball threat than Mike Williams is. The one thing you don't want to have happen is allow the person who can take the top off your defense to fucking take the top off your defense. I'm talking about the Bears next. Jay Roca said game of the year, 1,000 total game. I don't know quite yet about game of the year. The Raiders and Ravens, that was very, 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 very good game as well. Thus far this season, there's a lot of great games. That one was offensive explosion, but my God, this is a game where neither team should hang their head, man. It was a shootout. It was an absolute shootout. But I will say this about the Browns, like I said all season, if the Browns got their run game going effectively, watch out because they're dangerous. They are absolutely dangerous. If you cannot answer their, if you can't stifle their run game, you're going to have a problem. So this ain't a game that anybody should put their motherfucking head back down. Unless, of course, you're the Chargers kicker. But nevertheless, hell of a game and huge win in the SoFi shootout, man. That was a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game because everybody across the league made sure that they, in unison, went and called on the powers of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they all said, what?
And now go Chargers, go.
Next up, the Chicago Bears and the now defunct Gruden Grinders. I'll say this. The Raiders, after starting 3-0, have done virtually nothing these past two games. Derek Vehicle has looked human. After 3 weeks, he played magnificent football. This week, not so much. The ground game has not been a factor this year at all for the Las Vegas Raiders. They looked very bad this game. They looked sloppy. They looked very bad. Justin Fields, he ain't need to do too much. He did just enough. 111 yards on 11 completions with 1 TD. Herbert on the ground stepping in for an injured Montgomery. Ran for 75 yards as well. The Bears defense, in my opinion, was the story of this particular game. They came to play. They played a good game. They played a very good game, and they took care of business. It's a bear down kind of game. Because that offense for the Las Vegas Raiders did not show up at all. The Bears were all over the doggone field. They played a very good game. And I'll give them all the credit in the world. After seeing Montgomery wasn't playing this game, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. Yeah, I talked about the football team. They're absolutely atrocious. Their defense ain't shit. But Khalil Mack was able to take down his man. He was able to go and hit the music, take down Derek Vehicle on a 2-point conversion. But the Bears controlled this game from start to finish. It was their game to dominate. It was their game to lose, and damn it, they did not lose. They took care of business. They went out there, they took care of business. And Herbert on the ground, stepping in for Montgomery, hell of a game. Hell of a game. You got to hit the song for the Return of the Mac. It is Return of the Mac. Come on. They took care of business. They took care of business, and that's all I got to say about them. I'm curious to see how the Bears going to play down the stretch, if they could keep this kind of consistency. Offensively, I'm kind of, I don't know yet. Because I got to see what that passing attack looked like. Thad Glad, but 5-1 said the Bears played fantastic defense while my Raiders defense struggled to stop any run to the left for the whole game. Brutal. But the Bears played great defense. They looked like they really watched film. They were in the right spots. They knew their alignment. They knew their assignment. They knew their responsibility, and they could, took care of business. Big kudos to those guys. Next up, Arizona and San Francisco. Let me say this: San Francisco's 2-3. And they feel like a 2-3 football team. San Francisco feels like a team that doesn't really have an identity. They're not too sure what's going on. Trey Lance got to figure out this ain't college. For Arizona, they did just enough to walk away with the W. They may remain as the team's lone undefeated team, But very, 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 decent kind of game. DeAndre Hopkins, I believe he became the fastest. He has the most receiving catches in their first 100 games or something like that. He has the most catches in such a small, period of time, or the fastest to get to a certain point. He mossed the shit out of Josh Norman, took that brother's soul. Where's my water? I think the Cardinals need to figure out, I think what's really going to damage them moving forward, they need to figure out a run game. Because they've got the running back by committee thing going right now, or I should say two-headed monster with a James Conner and a Chase Edmonds as well. But they got to figure out what it is that they want to do moving forward on the ground, because Kyler Murray may scramble and all this other stuff. They just need somebody who can consistently, on a week-in, week-out basis, get them at least 60 yards, because I'm tired of seeing these motherfuckers get stopped for losses, stopped for no gains, all this other shit. Jordan P. put 2 on, said J.J. Watt is still an all-pro defensive lineman. His presence was felt. His pressures were there left and right. He was giving work to the right tackle all doggone day. But Josh Norman was getting cooked. Offensively for the 49ers, it was a brutal game. Virtually no run game whatsoever, right? Virtually no run game whatsoever. Deebo Samuel continues to be the only spark that they have on offense. So they're having a very rough time. They've got to figure out what they're doing on offense. And if I'm not mistaken, George Kittle missed this game, or he's going to miss a lot of future games, things of that nature. So they're going to need a lot of guys, man. They're going to need some guys moving forward. But Arizona did just enough. This was one of those ugly wins, but it's a win nonetheless. Next up, Dallas and New York. New York, it's brutal. Y'all lost both Saquon Barkley. Y'all lost Daniel Jones as well. Very tough loss. But I'll say this. The Dak is back, as Skip Bayless would say, because Dallas looks very impressive. Say what you want about the Cowboys, but Dallas looks very impressive. Those guys went out there and the triplets played their game. Amari Cooper took Bradbury's ankles on a magnificent route. Ezekiel Elliott could not be slowed down. And Dak, let's not even talk about it, bro. Dak don't even look like he actually had a motherfucking injury last year. Dak moving around like his ankle is 100%. I said, wait a minute. He got rolled up, got up like it was nothing. Launching the ball deep down the field like it's nothing. CeeDee Lamb, 84 yards and the TD. Amari Cooper only had that one catch for the touchdown. Well, he had 3 catches for 60 yards, but that one TD catch took somebody's ankles. Ezekiel Elliott, another 100-yard game. I was talking about Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, right? And I was saying that Elliott might have to be looking over his shoulder because Pollard could mess around and take this brother's job. But my God, are they a beautiful two-headed monster. Dallas got something here. Say what you want, but Dallas got something here. And defensively, don't throw the ball to Trevon Diggs. Do not throw the football in the vicinity of Trevon Diggs. He is the defensive player of the year at this particular moment. Block Boy Apparel put 2 on it. Said Colts with the fumble recovery genjutsu. Ain't that the truth? I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Diggs is a defensive player of the year right now. Right now. That man is playing magnificent motherfucking football. Dallas dominated this game. Now, say what you want about the injuries. Maybe things could have been a little bit different, but Dallas dominated this football game. They played magnificent from start to finish, and they took care of business, and I can guarantee you right now, downtown Dallas, Arlington, wherever in the state of Texas, around the globe, around the NFL world, all you hear right now is, what we tell you, baby, what we tell you, we them boys, we got Dick, we got Zeke, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, can't forget about Tony Pollard, Blake Jarwin, we got Dalton Schultz, then on defense, Xavier, I said Xavier, I mean Trevon Diggs, then we got Vander Esch, we got Jerry Jones as the owner, Skip Bayless as the analyst, Tony Romo on commentary, Troy Aikman on commentary, Michael Irvin as the analyst. We got Jerry Jones and we got Jimmy Johnson in the Hall of Fame. It don't matter. We them boys. Nobody's gonna stop us now. Super Bowl on the way. These motherfucking Dallas Cowboys look impressive, bruh. Say what you want, joke about the Cowboys all day. The Dak is back. Dallas looks impressive. Dallas looks impressive. I like it a lot. For the Giants, season, Saquon Barkley gone. I ain't gonna lie to you. Saquon's not gonna finish his career as a New York Giant. He's not going to finish his career as a New York Giant. He's gone. Saquon's gone. They're not going to trust him. They don't trust his health. Saquon gone, brother. Take the L out of lover. Saquon gone, brother. It's over. Dark Hero put 2 on and said, unfortunately, my Pats played them boys this week. Oof. Well, it's going to be a tough game, but damn it, believe. Believe in your team. Believe in your team. Now, prime time in the video that you're going to see the commentary later tonight. Chiefs and the Bills. What I tell you guys? I told you guys the Bills would win. The Bills right now are the best team in the AFC. The Bills right now are the best team in the AFC. Josh Allen played a magnificent game. Let me just say this. Referees ain't shit. Not just particularly for this game, but around the league. Referees ain't shit. Now that that's out the way. Buffalo played a magnificent game. Magnificent game. The Chiefs, that defense is why they will not go back to the Super Bowl. That's why they will not go back to the Super Bowl. They will be lucky if they win a playoff game. Put 5 on, said, do I think the week 1 loss to the Steelers woke up the sleeping giant of the Bills and pissed them off? I mean, any loss would make, piss somebody off, but that definitely, made them reevaluate where they are. But the Chiefs, regardless of the fact that they are the most score-irrelevant team of all time, it doesn't matter, and I'm not speaking for their offense. Their offense going to do what they do. That defense is absolute ass. I saw a lot of people talking about, yo, man, Patrick Mahomes a fraud. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not be stupid. Let's not be stupid football fans. All right? You may dislike a certain team. You may start to dislike a certain player because the freaking media likes to neck him off and all this other stuff. But damn it, let's not make it seem like Patrick Mahomes some sort of screw. Oh, he's over it. No, he's not. No, he's not. Patrick Mahomes is like that. Patrick Mahomes is considered the best quarterback, in the league, along with Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, the Lamar Jacksons of the world and company, for a reason. That brother can play football, but my God, it's kind of tough to when you're having one of those games and your defense can't stop a soul, it's very hard to try to get back into things. That roughing the passer call towards the end of the game after that interception was utter rubbish. But let me explain something to you. 3rd and 17, Josh Allen throws up a prayer. It's an interception, right? It's an interception, right? They call roughing the passer. All right, cool, no problem. Get the team off the field. Because remind you, they caught that pick with 11:41 left on the clock. Referee said, nah, roughing the passer. Okay, cool. For 6 minutes, the Chiefs' defense could not stop the Bills whatsoever. For 6 straight minutes. They converted, I think, 3 or 4 third downs. Titan Omega, for 5 on, said, Chief got no defense, and the QB got to be perfect. This reminds me a little of last year's Cowboys. How the hell are you going to win if you need your offense to play a perfect game week in, week out? Daniel Sorensen, it's time to go, brother. You can't cover a soul. Daniel Sorensen got to go. Tyrann Mathieu had his hands in the air damn near all game. All game. Kudos to the Bills. Emmanuel Sanders, great game, 2 TDs. On the ground, Josh Allen, Zach Moss, these guys, it seemed like every time they touched the football, they were picking up first downs. Dawson Knox could not be covered down the field. The safeties, primarily Daniel Sorensen, played like shit. Big Boy Apparel, Block Boy Apparel, put 2 on. Say, hot take, Chiefs ain't making the playoffs. All right, you gotta pump them brakes, brother. You gotta pump them brakes, brother. I don't know about all that. You gotta pump them brakes, brother. But that defense, they gotta figure it out. They have to figure it out. Because that is what's caused them to lose. It's that defense. Week 1, 29 points. Week 2, 36 points. Week 3, 30 points. Week 4, 30 points. Week 5, 38 points. How the fuck are you going to win football games if you're giving up over 30 per game? How? You will never get back to the Super Bowl. You will be the 2008 Boston Celtics. You know how the Celtics always talk about that 2008 title? The Chiefs will forever talk about that 2019 title. You will be a one championship dynasty. I can guarantee you this. Until they fix that defense, they will be a one championship dynasty. Look how many games they won. People will love watching their team. They will be a one championship dynasty. I promise you that. I promise you that. That's all I got to say about that. No, not quite like the 2011 Packers. Not quite like the 2011 Packers. But my God, fix that motherfucking defense. I promise you right now. Right now. Because if you don't fix that defense, y'all ain't going no damn well. James Joseph in the building. What's going on? And last but not least, the Monday Night Football thriller. Not in the Manila. Baltimore Ravens come back from 19 down and take down the Indianapolis Colts. Let me say this, all right? I see a lot of people on Twitter, they talking about Jalen. They're talking about Carson Wentz like this is his fault. Did you not watch the football game? Back-to-back weeks, guess what? Jonathan Taylor showed up. Finally, brother showed up. Chris Holland put 2 on it. Said Chiefs ain't play Madden 04 because defense wins championships. Ain't that the truth? But Baltimore played, I don't want to say like shit on offense through 3 quarters, but they failed to execute on third downs through 3 quarters. And that fumble that they called on Lamar, where it was picked up by Darius Leonard, I don't think that was a fumble. But it was one of those ticky-tack sort of situations. That lateral that led to a touchdown that ended up getting called back, that was one of those situations where it's like he threw the ball horizontally, damn near going backwards. But because Isaiah Rodgers was right there, his momentum and touching the football, he ended up getting it slightly in front of Darius Leonard, and that wiped the touchdown off the doggone board. But nevertheless, what did I tell you guys about what did I tell you guys about the Colts? You want to know why they lost this game? Red zone again. Carson Wentz fumbles in the red zone, right? He gets hit from behind, fumbles inside the red zone. They settled for a field goal. They settled for a field goal on a drive that they drove inside of Baltimore territory once again, right? Then you have the misses. You have field goal misses as well. You got a block, and then you got a miss at the end of the game, and also I believe there was a missed extra point as well. You're not going to win football games like that. But this had less to do with Indianapolis. It had more to do with Baltimore. Hell of a motherfucking game. Way to stay resilient. They played magnificent football, and this, by far, was Lamar Jackson's best game of his career as a quarterback. His best game of his career. Quincy put 5 on it. Said, what do I think about the Chargers' chances of making the playoffs this season? Herbert becoming MVP. The Chargers definitely have a legitimate shot of making the postseason. And Herbert, if he keeps playing like this, he's got a legitimate shot at MVP as well. Block Boy Apparel put 2 on it again. Said Colts miss more kicks than a 4-year-old black belt. Lamar Jackson was playing like a motherfucking boss. And let me just give out the game ball. Not only Lamar, not only Marquise Browns, who found his hands, but Mark Andrews? Oh, Mark Andrews had a game. That brother, every time they needed a conversion on a third down, every time you needed somebody in the end zone, every time you needed somebody on that 2-point conversion, Mark Andrews was there. Coming into the game where he didn't have a single catch in the red zone, Mark Andrews showed up, and he showed that he don't drive automatic. He's got the clutch in the car. Marquise Brown don't drive automatic. He's got the clutch in the car. Then Lamar Jackson definitely don't drive automatic. You see the way he moved. It's because he's in a manual vehicle, and he's got the clutch in the car. My God, what a game. What a game by Baltimore. What a comeback, man. What a motherfucking comeback. Heisman put 5 on it. Said Colts out here turning into the Falcons, blowing double-digit leads. Ain't that the truth? But that is a hell of a goddamn game. Mark Andrews lost his grandmother? Shit, I didn't know that. But if he dedicated that game to his grandmother, I'm telling you right now, she's smiling down. She is definitely smiling down. But that's a hell of a game, man. That is a hell of a game. Claps to the Baltimore Ravens. Way to finish out the motherfucking game, man. Claps to the Baltimore Ravens. Way to finish out the doggone game. Because that was a beautiful comeback. That was a beautiful comeback. And that's all I got to say about this week. I think if we were to talk about power rankings, top 5 teams in the league right now, Arizona's undefeated. But the Bills are playing the best football in the NFL, so I think I would have the Bills as the number 1 team in the NFL. Arizona is a close second. Chris put 5 on it. Said be more 4-1, and 3 of those wins have been Game of the Year contenders. Correct. I would have Buffalo number 1, Arizona 2, the Rams 3. Actually, no. Oh shit. I think I'd put Tampa. Shit, do I put Tampa in front of the Rams? I can't put Tampa in front of the Rams. Rams 3. Tampa 4. Dallas 5. Dallas, Baltimore, Los Angeles, they are all right here. They are all right here. They're all fucking stacked together. They are all stacked together. My God, that is tough. That's very tough. That's very tough. Bills, Cardinals is 1 and 2. 3 because the Rams are just still hovering, right? So Bills, Cardinals, Rams, Bucks, Dallas, because the Ravens defense, I don't trust their defense. I put Dallas over Baltimore. I got Dallas over Baltimore, and then it's Baltimore and Los Angeles hovering at 6 and 7. That's my 5. That's my 5. That's my 5. Dallas is at 5, Tampa Bay at 4, the Rams at 3, the Rams at 3, Cardinals at 2, Buffalo at the top of the list at 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you tuning into the doggone stream. Damn, I got to go to the gym. Shit, it's 8:20. But I'm about to go bike over to the doggone gym, get my late night workout in. I appreciate you guys tuning into the stream. Tomorrow, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury 3 reaction. If you are on Patreon, let me tell you something right now. I'm actually going to do the full-length fight commentary. I don't know if I'm going to post it tomorrow, but the reaction will be up on YouTube. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, that's coming up. Stay tuned later tonight. Primetime commentary will be premiering. I got it set at 10:30. I think I'm going to push it to 11 just so I can make it back in time to tune into the live stream. So, I have been your host, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis, and this has been your 2020 NFL Week 5 post-game reaction. Yo, so I'm looking for LeBron here so he could tap dance me out of here. LeBron, send me out of here. I'll see you guys tonight in the premiere.